Welcome everyone to the AI Campa Show. Today we're going to have a little chat about a few topics. Okay, so one of the first things we're going to talk about the new Nintendo Switch 2. We're going to talk about the Warzone back on the old days, or all old days, the beginning. We're going back to the beginning, and also a couple of things technologic. So come with me. Let's have a talk. Today, just a few hours ago, a huge. We're going to start with this. A huge, huge, huge news coming alive. How I realized about that? Just because I saw one picture say that Jurassic Park is going to be canon. When the people say it's going to be canon is because it will can come to the reality. They say, what kind of reality? What kind of things we're going to see? But it seems so, and I haven't here the the news is the Colossal Bioscience is a company who can work with the technology of the DNA. So working with this technology of genetics, you can be able to make clones starting for the code, the genetic code. So I saw that they bring back the dire wolf, who was extinct 10,000 years ago. And it's pretty amazing. Okay, I always see it because I say, okay, probably it's AI, sorry, or just animatronic animals. But no, it's true. This was created in October, 1st of October of 2024. So they have around 6 months. And in 6 months, the growing is amazing. Okay? And this thing can raise some questions. The technology, we arrived to the era, but this is something that was something so many years ago. I mean, so many years ago we was talking about the clone, about how we're going to clone the chip, for example, if we be able to clone humans. It's in the 90s and probably the 80s too, but my memory come more from the 90s. I remember movies and in the beginning of 2000 about the robotics, about the clone. Okay, there is a movie with, I don't remember. Let me look after the name. There's a movie of Arnold Schwarzenegger about cloning. I like it actually. I like it a lot. Looking for the real name because I don't remember what was the. I think it's the seventh or the fifth day. And the sixth day. The sixth day. And that movie was very good to see because in that movie specifically, they was talking about the cloning, and in the cloning they say it in one of the in the script they say that they stopped the hunger in Africa by cloning fish. And in that moment there was still some protest about how there is not well seen by God. The cloning is going against the God's law. But at the same time, this is what I tried to tell you. So there was a movie talking about science fiction. Then we have this new thing with robotic, like Elon Musk also say in in one interview about that in the future every family will going to have a robotic. Okay, so essentially, essentially, we're talking about what we're going to face in the future because now we have this technology. Now uh, we have all this about artificial intelligence, how we're going to connect with our daily life. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. And so I saw this dire wolf, and the dire wolf was so cute when they released it. And they said the exponential growing is going to be around 1.8 meters and around 70 kg, sorry. And what is next? I mean, because until now, of course, looks like a super nice. It looks like a very good. But what is the next? I mean, I read a post in Twitter X said about they want to bring the mammoth just to for exhibition. And some user was saying, well, why you don't bring the dinosaur? Okay. They say no, we're not going to bring a dinosaur because it's too much dangerous. But we have too many fossils of dinosaurs, and this dire wolf come from the fossils. So in the end, we have until one crazy, like the movies. I say this looks like a movie. One crazy scientist come and say, I don't forget the name of the Chinese in the movie or Jurassic Park. They take the genome and start to create dinosaurs again. So we can go there. I mean, it's crazy, but it's not. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, we say this is crazy, and yet you can see the video, you can see the post, and it's amazing. Now, I am not against, and to be honest, I am not against that the technology help us to improve our life, but I am against that improve can make us to be in dangers without control. Because if there is a risk of dangerous, okay, good. We have a risk of dangerous. We may fall in that, but we can control. We have a damage control. But this one, until now, it seems to be like calm or normal. Now, what will come in next? I don't know. And look, this news just coming and pop up to life now. I mean, 6 months later. That's something also it will be nice if we know by the moment that this is happening, no 6 months later, because like 6 months later they're coming and going to tell you, hey, you know what, sorry, but 6 months ago we created one tyrannosaur, one pterodactyl. So I mean, and this, sorry, escaped from the facility. So this is the point, or this is my point. And this kind of crazy to think about it. I had 38 years old, and I remember this, like I say, I remember all the movies that I like, and catch me because the script, because the future idea. Well, no, we're going to Back to the Future. So the movie Back to the Future, we say 2015, and we're going to have fly cars and the boots, the can fix together, and the hoverboard. But nothing of this happened. But you grow with the idea that the technology is going there, and probably it is going there. I mean, come on, now we have this artificial intelligence with assistant like Alexa. We have this create imagine by ChatGPT, by Midjourney, by everything. Sorry, by everything. So we can create music with Suno. So, I mean, all this technology, where we going with that, is interested. I mean, I am a doctor, and also I see the technology in the healthcare. I think in the healthcare also technology is helping us a lot. I can don't know everything, so I use also artificial intelligence to make me myself a more smart in the point of view of attending my patients to understand better the diseases. And artificial intelligence is helping me out. So buckle up because this is just the beginning. We're going to face so many good things of so many nice things that I wish I wish and I hope that all of us will be ready for that. And if you are not ready, you will need to learn to be ready. And moving out, we have this is an interesting news I have in here. We have the Midjourney released the B7. So the CEO, the CEO David Holtz, just described as a totally different architecture. And I saw the pictures of this one, and it's pretty amazing how the details and how you can create your own art. Your own art, start from scratch. Good side is that not everyone can have access to this. Of course, you need to pay. But in the other side, artists can claim the whole life they was working for this, and yet just for one, I don't know, 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes, you can have your own art. Some musicians doesn't like the idea that you create your own music also because you need to have some studio and pass so many years, not so many years, so many time in one studio for create a single music. But now in with the ideas and all, probably in half of the day you have one album complete. So talking about this new model, okay, it's important to understand that now this is an entirely new model with unique strength and probably a few weaknesses. So this is what the CEO was saying, because improving what is the generation of pictures in all kind depends. So and not only we're talking about the most realistic part. This technology now enters in the minimal details, especially when you do zoom, you can see how is the details. I try a couple of them, and it's very very nice. Okay, and this one, if you apply with another like Kling, you can generate a, a movement in the picture, you will see the effect are better. So I recommend for those who like the the generation by pictures, you can use it. Use it. I very very high recommend it. It's interesting. So we move out of the technology. So let's talk about gaming, because that was an interesting week last week. So April start very good. April start very good in context of gaming, because there is two news. There is there is one controversial. We're talking about the controversial. One is a game, one is a company. Let's start about the game. Verdansk is back. Call of Duty released the new Warzone, but in the old days. But this is not means that we're going to go back to 2020. This is remember in 2020 there was already Verdansk there, okay? And then the evolution of the map by the seasons was making change in the map until they finish with Warzone in that huge event, and then they go back in time before the events of Verdansk. Okay, when they go to Call of Duty Cold War, then with Call of Duty Vanguard. Now, all the events from the game from there to now, they back to Verdansk for the beginning of how Verdansk was grow. So was very nice to go back. That was created in the 10th of March of 2020, and was very good. I mean, we don't know how many maps we grow by Call of Duty Warzone, but by certain because I've been playing with them, but nothing like the OG. Nothing like the OG. Even the movement of the character is better, so they improve the mobility of the player, but is this nostalgic to make them to feel nice. I've been playing with my squad, with my family, and it's nice to say, you know what, let's go back to the hot spot in the hospital. Or I make something. I told them, okay, let's go to drop in the train station. But when I realized the train station down was totally closed, only the roof was open. And that is what I'd say. So before you have your drop zone, let's go to the airport. Let's go to the dam. So, like I say, but it's very nice. It's very nice to be back. And at the same time, Nintendo, we're going to finish with this topic. Nintendo released something that we already know was on the Nintendo Switch 2. And that Nintendo Switch 2 looks pretty good, pretty amazing. They increase the size of the screen. The new control, which in a few games I saw the gameplays and how they play because there is exhibition in Japan. You can use as a mouse. Okay, so now you can use it exactly like this. There's some games, and the game is coming is blowing the mind. So where are we going to start? Well, we're going to start first with something basic. Of course, as the PlayStation did, as the Xbox did, as the old Nintendo did when they go with Wii U, they're going to do not the remakes, it's like I like to say the upgrades. The good grades in sounds and graphics. But there will be a lot of, like they say, Nintendo Switch 2 version. We're going to have the two Zeldas there. I saw the Pokemon Set and A is coming there. It's going to release for the Nintendo Switch 1 and it's going late on December. It's going to be released by Nintendo Switch 2. Now, in terms of what is coming for the Nintendo Switch, what is coming new for the Nintendo Switch? There's a few games. I mean, the top one will be Mario Kart World. According to for what I see and what I hear of the Direct, because I was in the Direct, Nintendo Direct, is that the new Mario Kart World will be amazing, and it will not be like so they try to change for complete the dynamic of the game. Now this is an open world where you're going to cross some iconic places and start the races there. And actually you can play with your friends too. Like I'm waiting for you in the north, or you are in the south. You need to go from the south to the north driving to you can start a career. Sorry. You can start a race. So this is pretty good, pretty amazing. The graphic, the way. Someone say to me that is a version of Diddy Kong Racing. But the people who doesn't know, Diddy Kong Racing in Nintendo 64 was a good game on racing. Okay, because they only not match the cards. It's always there was plane and there was hoverboard. So it was very nice, and according to this will be the same. Okay, there will be some maps that you will need to play. There's some maps that you go into the water. So in terms of fun, is 100% guaranteed. And now with this thing on the camera that you can be connected with your friends at the same time during the game, so you don't need to connect with Discord like the people was doing. So it will be is better. Now, how many characters we're going to have? I don't have that information, but I think it's the same one plus a new one. So, I mean, they always do the same, but who's going to play with Yoshi? Who's going to play with Toad? Who's going to play with Donkey Kong? Who's going to play with Mario Kart? With Mario. But hey, Donkey Kong. Oof. I am very big fan of Donkey Kong since Super Nintendo. I remember to play Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong Country 2, Donkey Kong Country 3, until, and this is something, my first Nintendo 64, who was bring by a uncle who unfortunately passed away the same year, was the Nintendo 64 Donkey Kong edition. It's a transparent green, the control and the Nintendo, with the game on Donkey Kong. And that was the first game on Donkey Kong who was in 3D, and you can play with 4 characters. Now, what is amazing of the game, the graphic, the music. There was a place where you need to play the arcade of Donkey Kong. Now, when we see now this new Donkey Kong Bonanza, is bringing me that days. Well, here we're going to play with Donkey Kong. We're going to smash everything. Since we're going to the floor, we can take out rocks. So it looks amazing, the game. Seriously. Between Mario Kart and people love Mario Kart because it's Mario Kart. I mean, Mario Kart and Donkey Kong have his own franchise and his own fans. But between the two games, I'm going more for the Donkey Kong Bonanza because seriously, it's another there. Nintendo also brings something called the Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. I mean, you're going to be inside the control and checking for what is every single aspect of the buttons of the control. Sorry. I mean, looks nice. We have one game which is I like to see it, and when I saw it was very interested. Okay, it's called the Duke's Blood. It's going in the way because it's by the creators of Dark Souls and Elden Ring. Okay, and it's going on the same way. It's going to be next year, but it's going the same way. The mystical and the graphic, the way of gaming, according to what I see, the history about this game is pretty good. I like it. I like the idea. And what the games we got more. Okay, so for the Zelda part, we had Hyrule Warriors. So that is going to become before Breath of the Wild. So the main character is Zelda. Okay, we're going to play with Zelda and the ancient protectors of Hyrule. And it's very good. I mean, Hyrule Warriors is a good game. Meanwhile, we're waiting for the next Zelda. So also we're going to have our Kirby Air Riders. It was very nice because when I see the Kirby, the presentation was a star coming, then coming Kirby, and Kirby was hitting the star, and then the star make a tuning themselves with turbo and boom. So was was nice. Street Fighter 6, we're going to have it. We're going to have Final Fantasy 7 Remake Integrate. We will going to have Bravely Default Flying Fairy, Cyberpunk 2020 2077 Ultimate Edition. We're going to also have Elder Ring Tarnish Edition, and also we're going to have the, like I said, the Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Let's see again here. We're going to have Breath of the Wild. We're going to have Tears of the Kingdom for the Legend of Zelda part. We're going to have the Super Mario Party Jamboree and Nintendo Switch 2 edition Jamboree TV. Okay. We're going to have also the Lost Land of Kirby and Metroid Prime 4. Now, all this was nice, but there was the cherry in the top of the cake. And was amazing to see. We're going to have in the Virtual Console GameCube. We're going to be able to play GameCube. So the GameCube is coming with a nice titles, okay, and going to be amazing. I saw we're going to have the 2 games of Pokemon Collision and Pokemon Dark. We're going to have. I don't remember to see. I didn't remember to see Super Mario Sunshine actually, but there is Wind Waker, Zelda Wind Waker, which is one of the best titles, or probably it's the first time as a cartoon 3D, and very good. I mean, I love Zelda the Wind Waker, but at the same time, how will be the pricing? I don't know. With this, we're going to cover all the era of the all consoles. So by the Nintendo Switch 2, you're going to be able to have Nintendo, Super Nintendo, NES, Super Nintendo, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo 64, and now GameCube plus Sega. So you have 7 virtual consoles to play, plus the game is coming. So Nintendo put all the money in there and say, I bet all of them. Let's go all in. For the public who will love Nintendo, that is something very nice. So for the people who will like Nintendo, now for the people who is doesn't like because the title doesn't like Nintendo, they will come. Definitely. Now the controversy is starting because the price. The console per se will be a nice price. I'm not going to talk about the numbers here, but I'm going to talk about the pricing will be interested. It's going to be there in the fight with the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox X and S. But the price of the game is very controversial. They say that, for example, it's going to be super expensive for a normal game, not a special edition, no ultimate edition. It's going to be very high for a single game. Back on the days, I saw some posts. They say, for example, Killer Instinct, the price was $80 in Super Nintendo. Killer Instinct. I'm talking about in the 90s. So, and for they're going to be around that. I don't know. But even though the price will be so high, people will going to buy it. My only fear, and that was the discussion I made with a few persons, is that is going to be how can I say this? That is going to be for the people can buy it and then resell it at a huge price. For example, I don't know why I had the feeling I'm going to see in eBay or in Stocks X or in Amazon. Well, not in Amazon, but I'm going to see in stores super high price. For example, Mario Kart World, $120, $130. Crazy. Crazy. We're going to see. I mean, the hardware, because now we can download directly the game there. So we see. Well, everything we talk about here is something that we're going to have for the future, if you see it. So buckle up, enjoy it, and thank you for being here with me today. This is the AI Campa Show. See you next week. Take care.